you have had some time to reflect on what took place on that day, January 6th.
It was a very mild-mannered speech.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Yeah. Take the Capitol.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength.
It's love.
Spirit and faith and love. There was such love at that rally.
Love.
You're going to die tonight.
And they were peaceful people. These were great people.
You want to fight? You better believe you got it.
Terrorists dragging the officer down the stairs, beating and stomping and smashing him with a pole flying the American flag.
And I mentioned the word love. The love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
Believe me. Believe me. Believe me.
Happy Monday, everybody. Our national troll was out there again this weekend at CPAC, which is typically backcrap crazy. But this year, oh my God, you know, this is so bizarre when you compare and contrast what the current president, Joe Biden, is doing with what the former president, the national troll, is doing. There's a huge difference. You see what the GOP is out there telling their people at the CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Committee, that vaccines are bad, that they should take a pledge to die, to literally wipe their own selves out. I mean, it's such a death cult that they actually were at CPAC with anti-vaxxers and messages of Fauci's ouchie. I don't know. Lauren Boebert is so desperate for attention. She is so desperate. Oh my God. Oh my God. She just needs to set up a site. You know what I'm saying? A site where you could take her private and make her feel important in some weird way with tokens or... I mean, it is just so unbelievable how bizarre they are. So they're over there doing that. They're over there screaming Nazi, and they're literally legislating voter suppression based on a big lie that didn't happen. They have solutions for things that didn't happen. And the things that do happen, that are happening, that are deadly, that are dangerous, like climate change or global warming or droughts or fires or literally mussels and clams cooking on the beach because it's so freaking hot. Cuba is exploding into a revolution. Haiti has assassinated its own president. And they're very busy over there firing teachers for showing a poem to a class of high schoolers called White Privilege, a poem. In Tennessee, they think this is like the most major thing. And here you have the Democrats literally legislating. Checks are going to start going to families with children because of the CARES Act that we had to pass through reconciliation because not one single Republican believed in investing in families. No, they just want you to have them. But once you have them, you're on your freaking own. And Joe Biden put out this massive executive order on Friday with 72 different instructions to various administrative groups in the government to do their freaking jobs, like the IRS, like the FEC, like the FTC, all in order to create competition and opportunities for competition from small and medium-sized businesses to compete with the largest airlines, to compete with the largest tech companies, to compete. You know what I mean? It's just like, so Donald Trump is doing his grift, right? He's doing his grift with his ridiculously bogus lawsuit saying something about his victimhood, his free speech rights being somehow limited by a private company But he also said, well, I'm going to start my own social media company so that I will not have to use that platform that's owned by private business over there. I don't want to use Jack Dorsey's platform. I don't want to use Zuckerberg's platform. I don't want to use, any of the big tech. So I'm going to start my own platform. And all he ever did was post a blog that nobody read. And this frustrated him, so he decided he was going to bring a bogus lawsuit, declare himself a class of victims. You can't do that. We went through this. You have to be certified by a court that you are a class. Sue private companies for trampling on his free speech rights when the First Amendment only protects us from government intrusion on our free speech rights, right? I mean, it's so outrageous. He literally is trolling the entire country, and so is the entire Republican Party. What's going on in Texas with the voter suppression thing, you know why that's going on. Did anybody ever bother to explain to you why? It's because Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, has to run for governor of Texas again. And Greg Abbott is being primaried. He's being primaried by the likes of Florida's own Alan West, who killed some guys, literally shot them in the head in Iraq and got caught doing it. And so he ran for Congress, got elected here in Florida for 5 minutes, lost after his first term, moved to Texas, and now he's primarying Greg Abbott, and so is this other wackadoodle way to the right of Greg Abbott. Like, I don't even know, if you go all the way to the right and all the way to the right, won't you end up on the left? I mean, the circle being what it is. But yeah, so that's why Greg Abbott is doing the most outrageous crap in a special session in the legislature, including voter suppression, including transgendered kids have to be legislated against because they may compete in like volleyball in junior high school, and that would be erroneous and an affront to volleyball players everywhere or some such crap, right? And all that's what they're doing. Meanwhile, Biden's executive order literally provides relief from big tech. Literally does. It provides relief from big tech. It provides relief if your luggage doesn't arrive. Airlines, there's so many businesses. Labor is addressed in this executive order, meaning you ever have to sign, I know hairdressers do, I know broadcasters do, right? And you would think hairdressers and broadcasters don't have anything in common. Oh, yes, we do. We both were forced in our careers to sign non-competes. Non-competes to keep us from quitting our jobs and go finding a better job in the same industry. Well, this executive order literally bans the stupidity of non-competes. I mean, he has really looked at the stuff that labor is up against. He has looked at the stuff that small and medium businesses are up against. And he understands that rather than competing for consumers, big tech buys infant companies this is also another thing that happens in broadcasting, but I told you, it's very hard to explain. But here's what happens. So you get some success as a company or a broadcaster, and you seem to be a threat to a different format of broadcasting. So let's say I'm progressive and they're conservative, and I'm threatening their prowess. So they come, the big ones, the Death Stars of broadcasting. They come, they make you an offer, basically you can't refuse. You sign up in good faith, and guess what they do? They shelve your show. That's exactly what Facebook does with Instagram. It's what it does with WhatsApp. It's what it does with infant companies that are, innovating around Facebook or innovating around Instagram or, trying to create non-cancel culture platforms, right? He actually addressed that, and other things too. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.